Hey, tired parents. Today's question comes from Ness, who has a 13-week-old baby. She asks, what does the 4-month sleep regression look like? And what is a reasonable, typical bedtime routine for a 13-week-old? I'll answer the second question first because it's a little easier. And every family's routine looks different. Bedtime routine looks different. There's the usual components, things like books and baths and bed and or cuddles and nursing or a bottle. But it really doesn't matter what you include in the routine. What matters is that it is relaxing and it's connective and it's predictable. Humans are pattern-seeking creatures, and babies are no exception. At 13 weeks, your baby will start recognizing the bedtime routine as the start of bedtime, and this will cue her body up for what comes next. Predictability, again, is really important. Bedtime routines should last about 30 to 45 minutes and end in the room that your baby sleeps in the state that your baby sleeps in. In other words, don't turn the light off when you leave. Turn it off during your cuddle. As for bedtime, it varies a lot at this age. Many parents report, like you, that their baby doesn't settle for the night until 9 or 10 p.m., sometimes even 11. For room and bed sharing parents, this makes a lot of sense. At 13 weeks old, your baby, a pattern-seeking creature, has learned that this is the true start of nighttime. The whole family goes to bed, and she knows it. Ideally, though, for most family, the bedtime that works best for everyone, baby included, is 7 p.m. But because it takes a while for a body to adjust to a new sleep time, don't expect things to happen immediately. And since your presence is influencing her sleep, it'll help to start teaching her self-soothing techniques so she can gradually emerge into independent sleep at a more appropriate time. I'm going to talk more about how to gradually introduce self-soothing during the Lionheart Newborn webinars next week. As for how the regression manifests, again, it varies from baby to baby, but generally speaking, it's marked by regressive behavior in general. A baby going through a sleep regression won't just have her sleep affected, she may start acting more baby-like in the day as well. This can look like an increase in neediness and clinginess, and you might even notice that her head kind of gets wobbly, much like it was when she was brand new. With sleep, it looks like more frequent wake-ups, needing more to become soothed, old soothing techniques not really working as much, and that kind of thing. And grouchiness is also common. The reason for the regression is because your baby is going through a tremendous leap in development. At 4 months, your baby is able to perceive the world in a much more sophisticated way, which is a transition that I imagine is probably a little disorienting. On top of that, the world is suddenly more interesting. So in the daytime, nursing may become more difficult because your baby has noticed the fan. And this in turn can affect sleep because your baby isn't getting enough to eat in the day and is therefore hungrier at night. So the sleep regression in itself isn't so bad. I mean, it's rough, but it passes, and in the grand scheme of things, a week isn't that long. But but it's how parents respond to the regression that really matters, because that's when bad habits can get set. For example, daytime distracted nursing can translate into excessive night feeding, which then can create or exacerbate suckle to sleep associations, and those can create even more night wakings. So that's it. Relaxing, connective, and predictable bedtime routine. Aim for a 7 p.m. bedtime, but don't force it. If you notice a sudden increase in your baby's babiness and shorter, harder one sleeps, and it aligns with the rough weeks in which regressions are typically noticed, chances are that's the sleep regression. If you want to know more about helping babies settle for the night before you go to bed, or how to survive the sleep regression without things going haywire, then shoot me a message or sign up for next week's Lionheart webinars. Have a nice weekend, everyone.